Awesome. Yeah, we have a great audience today. So let's first start with some intros, like just to see who we have on stage. So I'm from Daedalus. We angel invest in Web3 projects. I used to be a software engineer. I've been doing investment for the last 4 years. We deployed around $20 million in more than 100 projects. So what we do on a daily basis is basically looking at decks, researching the space, and talking to people building awesome stuff. So yeah, that would be me.
Yeah, hey guys. I was thinking also, like, this one looks more like round table than panel. And because it's wallets here, like, maybe you can ask which wallets winning today. I mean, who has Zerion, who has OKX, and so on. Yeah, I'm Booga from Zerion. I lead the ecosystem. Zerion is a smart wallet, everything for EVM.
GM guys. So I'm Arik from OKX. Joined 2 years ago, kind of like to grow the ecosystem for OKX wallet. You probably saw that in the past 2 years we've been doing pretty good, I guess, on Web3 side. And right now I'm focusing on DEX side as well.
Who use OKX wallet? Can you? Okay, 2, 3, yeah. I mean, not 3, like 20%.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Alexis. I work for Safe. So I manage partnerships there, primarily for what we call internally Safe Core, which is our developer tools for people building their own solutions that use a wallet as infrastructure. So think about examples like WorldCoin or Polymarket or Dracula. If you've ever used any of those apps, you've essentially used a Safe wallet under the hood, even if you don't know about it. So who here has used Safe Wallet, WorldCoin, or Polymarket, or Dracula, or 200 other projects? Almost 100%.
Well, yeah, and Zerion. Who used Zerion? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Almost 50%.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, so we have favorites in the audience here. So awesome. So yeah, I mean.
Sorry, maybe by the end of the talk, people will switch their private keys to other wallet. Depends on what you're saying.
I mean, we should put a box for private keys here. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Cool. So we chatted before this panel, and we really would like to not agree on all the points that we're gonna make. So let's have some good discussion. And I'm gonna open up with the first question, which is basically MPC versus account abstraction. Like, which direction do you believe we should go? And I guess we can narrow down, one of the main differences will be like EVM versus EVM plus everything else. Because we see like all the explosion that's happening around meme coins in Solana and all that kind of stuff. So as a wallet that is concentrated on EVM, isn't that making you scared? And as a wallet that is like across all ecosystems, like how does this feel? So yeah, let's start with Zerion, I guess.
Zerion, I mean, our approach is very simple. I mean, it's changing. It doesn't really matter what we think about this. It's changing, and there are certain patterns which users like to do, like in the wallet. And for example, we launched our layer 2, which has native account abstraction, and it's already inbuilt into like EUA wallet. And experience is the same. Like you just have Zerion wallet as before. But right now on the back, there is account abstraction wallet, and we sponsor transaction for you. So in our app, the evolution is already there. Like we have like both. We don't have like social recovery yet, but we're just going there.
But you do you plan to support Solana?
Yeah, I mean eventually Zerion will become a multi-blockchain wallet like Solana, Bitcoin, Ton, maybe Tron when people use it. We just need together. Like we're a small team. For now, priority is like wallet chain, and then we become multi-chain eventually.
Awesome. What about OKX?
Well, I guess for us, it's pretty simple, right? When we actually started entering the market, the main benefit that our users actually been seeing was just multi-chain approach, right? We're the only wallet out there which supports not only one, but I guess like the best one in terms of the user experience for multi-chain. In terms of whether we focus more on account abstraction, if you're familiar with OKX wallet, I've been using it. You probably saw a year ago we did pretty well on account abstraction, and right now we are trying to.
Yeah, maybe don't hold here. Hold
Yeah.
here.
I mean, usually it works well. So.
When you battle rap, like maybe you shouldn't do this way.
Yeah, so for account abstraction, we launched around a year ago. We did pretty well. Right now, we sunsetted account abstraction for now, but
Already.
wait. Let me finish talking, okay? So right now, we're actually working on advancing it and going much further. In terms of product priorities, we've been putting a lot of focus into our DEX side, a lot of focus on NFT aggregation, a lot of focus on DeFi aggregation. Probably whoever used it probably seen that we right now support over 500 protocols on liquidity pools. We support over 400 DEXs. So I think in general it's been pretty good. Pretty good.
So for you, basically account abstraction is not something that users are looking for?
We focus more right now on MPC.
Okay. What about Safe?
So yeah, Safe is fully EVM. We have no plans, unfortunately or fortunately, moving over to Solana or Bitcoin or any other network. So it's a tricky situation, especially now. You know how narratives change so fast in our industry. 1 month ago, like EVM was on the road to, Ethereum looks like it's on the road to dying, and then next week it might be the next hottest thing. But right now and in the past 6 months, where we're seeing new users entering the ecosystem is Solana and Bitcoin and things like that. And unfortunately, Safe and Safe-based wallets don't benefit from that. So MPC is a very cool solution. It allows you to host chains with a single seed phrase across multiple networks. But we as Safe, we've committed to follow the Ethereum roadmap and support all EVM chains. We're fully focused on account abstraction, making easy user experiences and trying to onboard as many people as possible. But that comes with the limitation that it's Ethereum and EVM based only, essentially.
Well, it's good. We have like all these different paths, so it will be interesting to see which path succeeds, because this is how you do experimentation, right? And I guess the next experimentation we can discuss is do wallets actually need a chain, like a wallet-specific chain? This is something that Zerion announced, these days. So I'll be curious, to hear like why to have a chain and maybe why not to have a chain.
Okay, I was thinking funny. It should be funny answer, but with the funny one, I might have problems. Okay, no, I mean, so in reality, like almost every wallet has own chain. Like OKX has X network, Base, MetaMask. I think everyone eventually will have on chain. But in Zerion case, we feel that the wallet, our main product still, and the chain is a feature in the wallet, and it make wallet use case stronger. Like for example, it unlocks actually 3 features which is not existed on MetaMask, for example. First one is like gasless experience. So users that use Zero network, Zero is our chain. Users that use the apps on Zero network inside Zerion wallet doesn't experience gas. Like for example, yesterday we throw a party, we were dropping meme coins. Everyone who received meme coins in a fresh wallet, they can go and trade it or keep sending. Like we cut all these barriers of like topping up with the bridge and stuff like that. And this one actually unlocks and trading and NFTs and creating NFT. You can go on Highlight Marketplace, like you're a new creator, you go marketplace, you like fresh wallet, you start creating NFTs and sell them. So you can actually start making in crypto without topping up. This is like first ever use case.
I'm going to grill you a little bit on that. So if I'm a new user, that just created a wallet, how you can be sure that I'm just not coming to spam the network?
Yeah, that's a good point. So eventually, so Zero based on ZK Sync stack, and fee is there by design. So we not remove fee from the blockchain technology, but fee is like super low on this moment that we just decided to pay them. And ZK Sync stack allows you to pay through Paymaster on the back end, and it still remains decentralized. So, yeah.
Cool. What about the others? What do you think about this approach with having like a wallet-specific chain?
Well, I think like when it comes to the chain in particular, there is different use cases, right? For Zerion, they actually started as dashboard, right? Went to the wallet, and then right now expanding to the chain side. For us, we started as CX. We are still CX, right? But we also give a huge initiative on empowering Web3 back 2.5 years ago, and started out building out Web3 product suite. And part of Web3 product suite was actually a chain. This was one of the initiatives. And I do think it's important, but it's also kind of like about giving the user the freedom of choice and pretty much selecting the chain and looking at particular features which each chain can bring, right? Some people are more willing to use Bitcoin, or more willing to use Solana, or more willing to use Aptos. So everyone have their own preferences. There is no best chain. We're chain agnostic. And for us, what matters is user experience, and if the user is actually happy by the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess from a safe perspective, we're the only player on the stage today who doesn't have their own chain. And I think, again, when we're looking about different trends, we're in an era now where there's different, every app is launching a chain. There's lots of new chains and L2s popping up left, right, and center. And I think eventually we will see chain fatigue, similar to how a year or two ago, if someone came up to you and being like, oh, we're launching new L1, they're like, we don't really need any more L1s, right? Like, how many more general purpose chains do we need? It's a bit more niche and a bit more specific when you're having dApp specific chains, or there's a specific reason, or if you're using an application like Zerion and you get access to the chain and you get special benefits, that's interesting. I don't know how many more generalist purpose chains we have. For safe, there is a reason for us that we would consider launching a chain in the future. It's a bit technical. There's something called key store rollups. So essentially right now you can have a safe on different chains and operate it from the one singular chain, but it's a bit hard to sync them at the moment if you do have different chains. So for example, if I add a new signer or a recovery module on one of my safes, it doesn't replicate evenly across all the chains. So you could technically launch a new chain to control all of that, but it's a bit technical. It's not user experience focused, it's just more technical. So yeah, for us, we don't have any plans to launch a chain. We do have an announcement later today. There's been a lot of speculation that it might be a chain. It's not a chain. I can't tell you what it is, but it's not a chain. And yeah, so I think we will see more chains, many more new chains, thousands of chains probably in the next 12 to 24 months. I don't know how many of those chains will still be around in the next 48 months.
Talking about chains and the explosion of chains that we have, one of the main problems and one of the main critique that Solana people are trashing Ethereum people is all this liquidity fragmentation and the usability problems that you don't know on which chain you are and what you're doing. It's super confusing. So yeah, maybe we dive into how we are going to solve this liquidity fragmentation, this multi-chain problem that we have right now in our faces. What are your thoughts, Alexis from Safe?
It's a very interesting question. We are actively and have been looking at this because it's a very big problem. So a lot of the big clients that use Safe Wallet are a lot of DAOs. Some of these DAOs have their own products and their own chains and have issues with a lot of cross-chain fragmentation and liquidity. Because, for example, if you are Athena, for example, or What's another good example? Let's say you're a big product, a big DeFi product, and you have your own chain, and you want to have your treasury a bit on your chain, a bit on Ethereum. You want to have it diversified, and you want to be able to have liquidity pools going, being able to offer swaps, paying salaries, and everything like that. It's difficult to access different liquidity and utilize it effectively and do it in a way that's cheap and efficient and automated and everything else. So we have been looking into this. We've been working with a lot of different parties across Ethereum to do this. We recently launched something called Safe Foundry, which is looking to tackle some of these problems. Chain abstraction is the #1 narrative on Twitter for the past 4 months when you're looking across crypto Twitter. So I think we won't be talking about this as a problem in the next 6 months.
You think so? Like 6 months and we solve fragmentation problem?
Someone should launch a poly market.
I mean, it's partially solved with consumer apps nowadays in any case, but I do agree chain abstraction is definitely a big narrative right now. And when you were actually mentioning the projects which do have their own chain and do have mainly on mainnet, right? Treasury on the mainnet. Oh, yeah. It was Rarible, right? I think like Rarible is a good example. But in terms of generally, I think chain abstraction is, we definitely can see right now a lot of it happening in Moonshot is one example, right? There is Photon, there is quite a few others which are working on it. And I think even like pretty big providers like LidoConnect are considering into how solving this problem right now. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts?
Our take on this. I mean, I don't agree that it's going to be solved like within 6 months. In 6 months, ZK Sync will launch their like elastic chain. So users will be able from, let's say, zero network use like Aave on ZK Sync. So this like how it calls like cross chain. Yeah, I don't know like how it.
I think we solved account abstraction before elastic
chain abstraction. Yeah.
becomes.
So it calls chain. I mean, it doesn't matter how it calls in, but yeah, user will be able. But it's kind of like in the future. To be honest, like reality, like we are launching on ZK Sync stack, and there is a lot of things still building, and like from inside, it doesn't. The future looks optimistic, but it's not gonna happen right now. And you know, there was this like meme that like we are so early. I think technically wise, we are like so early, and we can.
So Alexis said 6 months. What do you think?
Let's do poly market, Alexis, on this. But
I actually think it's getting solved nowadays with a bunch of bridges and aggregators, right? There is OKX DEX, there is Bungie, there is LeFi, there is a bunch of them on the market right now, and they're pretty much solving the problem, but it's how the account abstraction concept and also chain abstraction comes in play.
There is actually a moment. It's solved, for example, for Zora and Highlight, like NFT platforms. If you go Zora and there is like new cool NFT like on, I don't know, base network, and you have money on Optimism, actually Zora can charge you from Optimism and mint you NFT. So it's kind of solved from this perspective.
From layer 2 and layer 3, yes, but like when you look into, I guess like the biggest challenge is EVM, non-EVM. Like, for example, when you come from Sui and you want to, let's say you just have Sui on your wallet and you want to buy meme coin on Base. How hard is it? It's pretty hard. Or you're struggling because it's PvP market right now, mostly. You just pretty much buy in as the last person.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing a lot of solver infrastructure being deployed, and this could be, I mean, a lot of people might be trashing that the solvers are kind of centralized, but it looks very promising. So I also believe that this should be solved in maybe a year. Like 6 months is quite optimistic, but yeah, I hope in a year.
I think solvers are good. The problem is like when it gets into RFQs, and RFQs are actually pretty centralized. And because they're centralized, sometimes like the user want to get a quote within like, I know, 1 second, and they get a quote within 30 seconds. So it's a little bit inefficient.
Yeah. And also it's not composable like solvers.
And also failure rate, man.
Yeah. Let's switch it up a little bit. So Ethereum is changing a lot. There's going to be some upgrades happening very soon, and one of them is EIP 7702, which, to remind everyone, is basically this EIP that allows EOAs, so regular accounts that are not smart in any way, to have code attached to them. So basically, you can create a smart account from every wallet out there that existed, from the beginning of Ethereum. So how do you think this is going to change the user experience, in your opinion? Yeah.
That particular upgrade, I think Superchain will have smart accounts by default. This is how it's going to change, because, for example, when we were choosing to go Superchain or zk Sync stack, one of the reason was technical. And if we go Superchain, it means we need to deploy a smart account for every wallet on our chain. And the resource-wise, it would take 3 to 6 more, maybe 3 more months to just unroll it. While zk Sync stack has by default, every wallet is account abstraction by default. You don't need to do anything. And in our case, it was a reason to make decision and speed up the process. But the quick answer is that OP Superchain will have account abstraction and this chainless experience. So it's probably good for them. And for other, I don't know, Avalanche and other L1 that based on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
I think personally, for ERC 7702, it's pretty big development, right? Because by the end of the day, if we look into account abstraction ideology, everyone here probably wants to invest, I don't know, a certain amount upon certain condition being met on the market. And I don't know, let's say someone here probably invests 1,000 or been investing in past 1,000 on a weekly basis on the market, right? And then imagine you're able to set a criteria. Let's say GUI is below certain threshold, the price is below certain threshold, number of transactions on chain hits certain parameter, right? Those are pretty powerful. I don't think we do have advanced account abstraction on the market yet, but definitely allowing EOA wallets being able to do the same what general account abstraction narrative is for is pretty good for general user.
Okay. What about Safe? I mean, this is kind of stepping in your field a little bit.
Yeah. For Safe, it's super exciting. I think it's the upgrade that we've been waiting for more than anything else. It's not exactly how we wanted it to go, to be completely honest with you. So a couple of our co-founders have been very active in the space in terms of forming the IP and how that's going to look in the upgrade. There's a lot of participants. And it's quite interesting when you see how decisions are made on Ethereum. It is a bit decentralized and it is a bit chaotic, and there's a lot of people that you need to make happy. But we're very excited. One of Safe's core missions is to make sure that every account on Ethereum is a smart account. And while this doesn't get us fully there, from a UX perspective, it's going to be a massive upgrade. So today, if you want to use gas abstraction, you spend funds across different chains, set up guardians, everything like that. You need to go and manually set up a smart account wallet like Safe, or you can go and do things on zk Sync, which has a bit more native account abstraction. But once Spectra goes live and 7702 goes live, I've been speaking to most of the wallets this week and having a few conversations about how this will be tackled. Most of the wallets out there today that you use either on mobile or with a browser extension will have a simple button will say upgrade to 7702, or I don't know how they're going to phrase the UX. And just like that, you're going to be able to use free transactions, you're going to be able to do batching, you're going to be able to play Web3 games without having to do signatures all the time and signing, because you can sign a session that allows you to play or spend any amount of money or anything like that, set up flexible policies, recovery. It's going to be super cool. What we don't get, unfortunately, from 7702 is the security aspects of smart accounts. And that's because how the EIP is designed allows the controller of the private key to always override the policies that you put in place. So it's a bit of a shame. It's a good stepping stone. We're really excited. And I think the user experience for everyone across Ethereum will massively improve. Again, if you've ever used ZK Sync or any of the hyperchains on ZK Sync, you can get that experience now today. We're bringing a bit more of that across the whole Ethereum ecosystem.
Awesome. From your experience, Alexis, are dApps actually ready for account abstractions? Do you have frictions with dApps when it comes to like supporting these features?
Sure. So we've been trying to get dApps to support smart accounts for ages, and most of them don't. And the reason they don't is because most of their users come from MetaMask, from Trust Wallets, from OKX, from Zerion, and they're like, well, we're not going to build out these super complicated features for like a tiny % of the users on Web3. But this year is where the tipping point comes, because all those users who are on MetaMask and Zerion and Trust Wallet and OKX now also have smart accounts. So now the dApps are going to have to adapt whether they like it or not, because if they don't adapt and you go to Uniswap and it takes you 4 clicks and 4 signatures to make a swap, whereas Aerodrome or whoever like just does everything in 1 click and it's free gas and everything like that, like people are going to shift. So I think they don't have any choice but to adapt and change. It's not going to be immediate, but slowly and surely, one by one, everyone's going to have to enable this. Because even though the EIP allows for the wallets to do this, like you said, it's up to the dApps to ensure that those functionalities are being used, basically. So short answer is they don't have a choice. They need to adapt or be forgotten.
Arik, what's your experience?
Yeah, I think for dApps in particular, what might be interesting is something like Intent Hub or AI agents, which are personalized for the particular wallet users. And based on it, if the dApps would be able to kind of like generate those types of layers on top of their current UX and UI, right, and functionalities in general, this can be really powerful. I don't think dApps in 80% of the cases are ready, but there is quite a few pretty strong ones on the market which have been there for ages, which I'm pretty sure have been exploring it for quite a minute by now.
If you allow, I have, this is my, connectivity is my pain point. This is actually the thing that like really painful, like when I start working on this. Basically, like when we pivot into the wallet and we launch extension, then we the team decided, okay, we need to be sure that the Zerion extension supported by the apps, right? That people can use it. And in reality, like it was last summer, 1 year ago, and like I tested out 100 apps, and only like 14% actually like support Zerion. And I was like, wow, this is like, and for any other, you need to pretend MetaMask. Like you actually need to use config MetaMask and pop up in front of them. Yeah. And there was like a lot of like fight about this.
Didn't you guys do it natively within your DApp? Like whenever you pretty much go Zerion Discover, then you're able to see Zerion on the first place and it's substituted by UI.
Yeah. So we tweak. If you have Zerion extension, we actually replace MetaMask logo into Zerion and name into and then you click and we'll replace config, so it opens actually Zerion. And it was real pain. And like I published research which I call like Great Wall in Web3. It's actually about connectivity. And the good word is that like for this year it actually moved a lot. There was like EIP 6963, like maybe you guys experienced preview when it can detect user's wallet and show user wallet. And it's like boosted a lot. I would say like Zerion's connectivity level grew up from 14% till maybe like 60, 70 is like really good now. Mm-hmm. But then it means we not count account abstraction wallets. Account abstraction wallets bring the same problem to all wallets, like which we had with Zerion. And it also required a unified standard, which is not there. And I know that LidoConnect team works on this, but it's not there. It's like just big pain for the whole space. And we even, when people talk about onboarding next billion people into crypto, like I always see this picture in my mind. Like
Yeah.
So even if you launch account abstraction wallet, no one the app will support this. You need to talk with them manually.
I'll just say quickly, my favorite hack of the wallet wars was OKX browser's extension. So if you had OKX installed and MetaMask, OKX would pretend to be MetaMask, open its pop-up, and ask you, hey, did you want to use OKX or MetaMask? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like there is a bunch of users nowadays who probably have 5 to 10 wallets, right? And they might use one wallet for Bitcoin, another wallet for EVM chain, another wallet for Sui or Aptos, right? So for us, it actually was a big problem because we do understand how important for the user to go and with their preferences at particular point of time. So that was the reason why we actually pushed it out. Because before that, there was an issue that some users were actually connecting OKX wallet while they want to connect MetaMask. So yeah.
We are doing the same, actually. If you have Zerion wallet and MetaMask, we ask, like, are you sure, like, do you want to go?
Yeah. You should build a framework for doing that. I think a lot of people want to do this. I think we are kind of running out of time at this point. Maybe we have time for one more question. And this is something that's really bugging me, you know. And I want to ask you as, you know, the guys at the front. When are we going to drop the seed phrases? When we onboard users?
Never.
Safe never had seed phrases and never has had seed phrases. We dropped it 7 years ago.
Okay, so, well, they already dropped it. What about you?
Well, for me, from my personal perspective, I do think that it's all about education. I don't think there is need to actually eliminate seed phrases. Yes, you can simplify user experience, let the users to log in through MPC, but like, I think like seed phrases are actually much more important from the security standpoint because it's almost close to, I think like there is a hack, there is actually one vulnerability which actually allows to detect these certain seed phrases. I think it's called devil something, but in general, I believe seed phrases is actually more secure way than anything else because if you look from the MPC standpoint, yes, it's highly unlikely for vulnerability, but there is still possibility for vulnerability. Yeah.
Passkeys a way to eliminate it?
I don't think so, actually, because if there is 2 shards, no. If there is 3 shards, maybe. Okay. Yeah.
We're big fans of passkeys, and I love passkeys. Like, if you're a MacBook user today, you know that you log on to anything, you do anything, you just put your finger on the corner of the MacBook and everything's unlocked. You've got your passwords, absolutely everything, and that's controlled with a passkey. So Web 2 is pushing for this super aggressively. There's still some technical issues to figure out, and it's not as secure as it should be. So right now it doesn't replace it, but for 99% of the users and use cases, I think passkeys are great.
Booga, what do you think?
I think that's also the reason why we launched Zero Network. So I mentioned there's like 3 key features. The first one is gasless experience. You just go and you forget about gas. Second one is social recovery. Like it's similar direction. When we onboard these users who never experience gas, they want to like have some other way to back up it. So the social recovery will come next year. And there is actually a third feature which nobody talks because it's impossible in crypto now. If you have wallet chain concept, when wallet and chain integrated, you can unlock 2FA authentication. So you can set limit of transaction, or like you can send, like you say, if within 24 hours I didn't do anything, then you pass it. Mm-hmm. Or if it's like bigger than $1,000 or something. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And when you have this wallet chain integration, you can unlock this. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I think we ran out of time, so thank you for the great discussion. I think that was really amazing, and thanks to you.
Can I do a super quick shill? So Safe, we're actually launching a brand new product today. It's very low key. We've been working for a while. We're very excited. If you're interested in finding out more, I've got a QR code here. You can join our alpha group. to get first information. So
Can
sorry
you-
for this shameless shill, but we're super excited and we hope you all are too.
You're big in the crypto ecosystem. We're gonna allow you to share. So it's-
Can you say it secretly to us and we just know it?
I'd get fired if I revealed anything.
Which letter it starts from? The name of the product?
S.
S.
It starts with S,
Something
A,
with-
F, E, and then I
okay.
can't say what the rest is.
Safe chain.
Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Super spicy panel, like Thai food. I really like it. Appreciate it.